Hello, my name is Amy Edelstein, and I hope you've been enjoying the 12-part e-learning series, Great Awakenings, Radical Visions of Spiritual Love and Evolution, that I put together with my teaching partner and Dharma brother, Chris Parrish. Recently, you received a class on Teilhard de Chardin, and I wanted to send you a short video to help you get into his work and meet him, get to know him, learn how to engage with him. He's one of the mystics, contemporary mystics, who has inspired me so much over the last number of years that I really owe a lot of my thinking about spiritual life and about ways of engaging with spiritual life, engaging with an evolutionary or future-oriented vision, and a way of translating and updating the mores and values and ethics of our time according to that evolving vision, to his work and to his life. He really is an extraordinarily beautiful and humble man who was marked and influenced by the tragedy of World War I. He worked as a medic in the trenches of World War I, which is where his evolutionary philosophy first took hold. I don't know what compelled him, but in the midst of the suffering and of carrying wounded soldiers from the front lines back to the medic tent, somehow his vision looked forward, inward and upward, and he found within his sense of the sacred, within the divine milieu, the divinized context of the beautiful world of creation, he found a sense of a future-oriented trajectory, of a vision of the possible, and of that possible not being one that was crafted from our minds and our ideas, but something that really came intuitively from within, from the call of the heart, the call of the sacred to ourselves. Teilhard can be a little bit hard to read, and when I first really was able to understand him through the words and the work of Ursula King, who was the president of the Teilhard Society and wrote a beautiful book called Spirit on Fire, which is a life story of Teilhard de Chardin with beautiful quotes. And that helped me enter and read his work without getting caught in some of the linguistic structure, because of course he was translated from French into English. Once I was introduced to his work, I was able to connect with it myself, and I really marvel at the way that he wrote about contemporary issues and tried to think about relationships between men and women, vows of obedience to the church, what celibacy and chastity were meant to be about, what science had to do with spirit, what spirit had to do with science, in a new way. He was really a visionary thinker, but of course he didn't arise from a vacuum. He was influenced by the other evolutionary thinkers at the times and those who came slightly before him. He was very well read and was inspired to read and research in a way that enriched and fertilized his heart. So as you engage with this series, with the e-lessons that Chris Parrish and I will be bringing to you, please read them with the spirit of Teilhard in mind. Read them with a mind that isn't just trying to acquire knowledge, but is trying to understand life and the sacred from the inside out, that's yearning to grow and thirsting to discover that which lies beyond what we already know. If Teilhard is an example of anything, he's an example of that, of an individual undaunted by all kinds of roadblocks of life and the sufferings that occur in our world, that took those sufferings and took those roadblocks and looked deeper and further beyond that to find a context that could embrace all but accept that which is moving and yearning towards a much more loving and harmonious and integrated and meaningful and purposeful life. So that's my wish for you, that you engage with these articles in that way. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I hope that you find that each of these e-lessons is enriching your own spiritual path and practice. Thanks so much for giving us your time.